In this video, we're going to go ahead and break down two specific examples of products that you could potentially sell on Amazon. We're going to go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of these two example products, go ahead and break down why or why not they might be a good idea for you to sell on your Amazon store. But if you're brand new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a full-time seven-figure Amazon seller. So like I said, I'm going to give you guys some seven-figure insights on these two leads we're going to go ahead and look at. We're going to break down which of these products you might be interested in selling in your Amazon store so that after you watch this video, you're going to be a lot more confident in your buying decisions. You're going to be able to go out and know when you found a good product to sell on Amazon. But before we do that, if you guys want even more free resources to learn how to sell on Amazon, linked directly beneath me is my completely free Amazon seller Discord community. It's over 35,000 people in there sharing a ton of free information. Would love to see you in there. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. So this is the first product we're going to go ahead and break down here. So we're going to go ahead and run through it top to bottom, everything you need to look at this product to make sure that it's something you're interested in selling on Amazon, right? So I went ahead and pulled up the SellerAmp page here. It's pretty much the same thing you're going to get over here on Amazon, just easier to see a lot of the data here. So the first thing that we would need to check for, the super obvious one, right, is this product the same thing? So right here, we've got these insoles over here on the Dr. Scholl's website. We've got the exact same product selling for $7.50. Over here, it's the same thing. Pictures look exactly the same to me, same sizes, all that kind of stuff. So we know we have the same product. So we've gone ahead and punched in our cost price of $7.50 there. If you want to include extra fees or shipping and anything like that, SellerAmp will bake in shipping fees for you. If you want to go ahead and do that, we can go ahead and throw on an extra 50 cents just for any kind of poly bags and boxes, anything like that, just to be extra conservative here, right? Want to make sure we're actually estimating the profits we're going to make. So right here, based on the price of this items today, we're going to make $5.78. It's a 72% ROI. And it looks like right here, over here on the charts feature, this is kind of the next thing we'd want to go ahead and break down here is, okay, right now it's selling consistently. I can make a profit on it. Looks like it's selling 500 times a month. Now I need to go ahead and look at the charts over here. And now I need to decide, okay, is this item sustainable? Right now it's a great item. I'd love to sell this item, but is this item going to be good in the long run, right? So as I'm mousing over the charts here, we can see that the price that we're selling it for currently, this is kind of our projected price we want to sell it for, is $22.70. Buying it for $8, right? That's a great lead right here. When I'm looking at this specific chart right here, I see the buy box up here has been hanging out for about $29. It looks like just within the last, day or two, the price has dropped down to $22. It's kind of fluctuating between $22 to $29. And really, we could still probably capture some of these sales at $29. So if that's the case, this is an absolute home run of a product, right? Selling pretty quickly, great ROI, like an amazing profit. So when we're thinking about this stuff, right? Like obviously right now, I'd love to sell it for $29, but we need to make sure it's sustainable, right? So as we can already see, some of these sellers are coming in here and pricing for that $23 price point, or that $22.70 price point. And that looks great, right? Still looking like a really great lead. And then another thing I want to go ahead and consider is, okay, what is the absolute worst case scenario for this item? When I look at the worst case scenario for this item, I see Amazon could potentially come back and sell on this item. Looks like over here, we can see the orange on the chart. We can also mouse over it there and we can see Amazon is on this listing. So if that were the case and we have to sell it for $15, all right, we're losing $1, right? So if you've ever traded stocks or anything like that, right? Like you're doing your risk reward analysis here, right? So in this case, our absolute worst case scenario is we sell it and we lose 77 cents. Our best case scenario is we come in here, we sell it for $29 and we make $11.13. That's a pretty good trade-off, right? So for me, this item seems a little bit risky, right? Like right now, there are currently 16 sellers. There's 20 sellers as of today. A couple days ago, there were 16. So number of new sellers is increasing here. So that's one thing we want to think about, thinking about our economics class, right? As more of these people come in, this price might return back to where it was. But as we've already done some research, I'm okay if the price comes back down to where it was. If Amazon's on it, it looks like we're going to be able to wait it out. Looks like typically if third-party FBA sellers, that's us, we're going to be shipping directly to Amazon. If those people are controlling the sales, it's going to be at $19. That's our worst case scenario here. Seem to be as we mouse along the chart here. So we can see 19, 18, maybe 18 is our worst case scenario. We're still making 22% ROI, not a great profit. But all that to say, this does seem like a price that is interesting. Obviously, the capturing this $29 sale would be amazing. So I would really love to capture that. But even our worst case scenario here, selling with those third-party sellers at $18, we're still making money, right? So right away, we've identified that this item is the same item. Like it's great. We can go ahead and buy it from this site. We get it for $8. We're selling it for $18 to $29. We've gone ahead and looked at the chart here. We've decided that the price over time, this is something that we're interested in, or maybe not. If you're not interested in this, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know why you disagree with me here. But I think a lot of us would go ahead ahead and jump on this item, especially given that there used to be way more sellers, seems to be in a little bit of a shortage, kind of a hot demand right now, right? So we're gonna go ahead and check out this product. We know that it's consistent in the long term. We're at least interested in the past performance of this item. If it does go back down to where it was, we're okay with that. So now that we've talked about those things, I've gone ahead and pulled up the Amazon listing here to talk about the last couple things that we want to think about before we decide whether or not we're interested in selling this item. The next thing I would go ahead and look at on this listing is this little green check mark right here. This is being done with a Chrome extension called IP Alert. And essentially what IP Alert does is it's a database of a ton of brands that have a history of filing IP complaints against us as third-party sellers, right? If we're going to come and sell these brands that aren't ours and we're going to capitalize on that demand, we need to make sure we're not stepping on the toes of anyone who is policing their Amazon listings. They're already selling on Amazon themselves. Like if you were that brand, you wouldn't want to share sales with third-party sellers either. So it totally makes sense. But having tools like IP Alert helps me avoid making those silly mistakes, right? So having this green check mark here lets me know that in the past, no one else has had an issue in their database with selling Dr. Scholl's products. And so that makes me a little bit more confident that I can go in here and buy this item and not have to deal with any IP complaints or anything like that. If you guys don't have IP Alert, by the way, it's gonna be a link down below. If you use FOP30 when you go ahead and get IP Alert, I'll save you $30, helps me out as well. And genuinely, me and my team check it on every product we look at on Amazon. So now that we know that there's no real IP issues with this product, one other thing a little bit more advanced that I would go ahead and look at on a product like this one, really any product, is go to data and then go over here to buy box statistics. And from here, we just want to make sure that no one is hogging any of the sales, make sure there's nothing weird going on here. So when I go in here, I can see the last 30 days. Here are all the people who've sold on this product. If you haven't used this feature, I'm sure this is blowing your mind a little bit. So go ahead and play around with this. But as we see right here, we can see that this guy right here is getting 17% of the sales last 30 days, 10%, 6, 5, 4, 4, whole bunch of small numbers, right? So there's nothing really weird here. Really what I'm checking for on this page is to make sure no one's getting like 100% of the buy box rotation, 80% of the buy box rotation, anything like that. Because what that means is over the last 30 days, if they had 100% of the buy box rotation, anytime someone comes onto this listing, they click add to cart, they're adding that particular seller's product. If you've ever shopped on Amazon, I'm sure you've just gone in and clicked the add to cart button. So you know how powerful it is to be that option. So if you ever see anyone hogging the buy box, that's something to stay away from. Getting a little bit more advanced with you, but just trying to give you some pointers on things to think about as you get more into the weeds with selling on Amazon, right? But all in all, I'd say this product looks pretty solid based on the past history of this item. If we look down here at the Keepa chart, it's not unreasonable that the price of this item could come back down, but it does have a history of going down and coming way back up. And really, even if this item did happen to tank in price again, I really think the price would go ahead and come back up. It seems to be an item that's in pretty hot demand. You can see the sales rank stays pretty low. It stays close under, a lot of times it's under 10,000, which is a really, really quick selling product. So overall, I'd say this particular product looks pretty solid to me. Let me know down below if you disagree with me. So with that said, let's go ahead and break down this next product and see if we want to buy this product as well. So breaking down this next product we're going to go ahead and look at here, this is a 3-pack of deodorant. This is a much slower seller. You can see it's only selling 44 times per month, but we can go ahead and buy this product from Bed Bath & Beyond over here. We can get it for $4.39 per stick. Over here on Amazon, it's selling currently for $32.99, which would leave us with a profit of $8.81, 62% ROI on a slower selling product. But right away, this product seems pretty decent, right? Based on the number of sales. Based on the number of sales here, this is a smaller number of sales. I prefer to sell items that only sell more than 30 times a month. So this is really getting closer to the low end of my threshold here. So having a higher ROI, that 62% ROI is on the higher end. Sometimes we'll go as low as 25, 30% on those items if we are almost certain that the item's price is going to stay stable. All that kind of stuff we're talking about with this last item, right? So let's go ahead and do the same thing on this item, right? And on this item, I'm going to go ahead and not give you my personal answer, whether or not I think this is a good lead. I'll let you guys let me know in the comments. So we're going to go and break this down, and then in the comments down below, let me know if you guys would buy this particular lead. Do a little bit of an experiment here, right? So just as with the same product, we've already gone ahead and made sure that this is the same product. We got the Timber scent over here on Amazon. It's the antiperspirant and deodorant. It's not one or the other. Both are the exact same thing. From here, we've gone ahead and made sure that it's profitable, right? And now we need to go ahead and think about the long term of this item. Is this something I want to be interested in long term? So we're going to go ahead and zoom out here to the 1-year view, right? So overall looks pretty consistent. However, right now we are at a little bit of a price spike. It makes sense. We can see right down here on the offer count, there used to be 20 sellers on this item. At the time of recording, there's 4 people on this item, right? So once again, simple economics, right? Supply and demand, price is going to go up here. Since the supply of items is way lower here, that price of this item is going to go up. It's natural, right? So we want to make sure that this item is consistent long-term. And one thing that I like to use SellerAmp for to do that is using the average 30 days, 90 days, all that good stuff down here. And when I do that, I can actually just go ahead and click right here. So it changes my sale price. So over the last 30 days, the average price is $30.09, which leaves me at a 45% ROI. And so now over the last 90 days, right, this gives me an even better picture of how consistently profitable this item is. Go ahead and go to 28.05. At that price point, we're at a 32% ROI. And then just kind of mousing over the chart here, it really looks like this item tends to kind of want to hang out at that $28 price point, 28, 27 bucks, somewhere around there. So this is a pretty consistently, reasonable expectation for this item that'll sell for 28 bucks. Right now, like we'd love to sell for 33 bucks. That's a great ROI, but obviously we can't plan for the best case scenario. We need to plan for our worst case scenario, make sure we're happy with our worst case scenario, not necessarily happy, but we aren't losing our shirt, right? We don't want our worst case scenario on an item like this to be 15 bucks, right? Where you're losing a whole bunch of money. In this case, our worst case scenario being 28 bucks is really not too bad. And if we mouse along the graph here, it seems like our absolute worst case scenario is like 26 bucks, where once again, we aren't losing money. That last lead, we were going to lose a little bit of money at our absolute worst case scenario. So that's definitely something to think about. Why don't we go ahead and jump into the Amazon page over here? We'll go ahead and break down those last couple things that we looked at in this same exact product. So right here, IP alerts telling me that we can sell this brand. Old Spice is not going to come after us, give us IP complaints. At least not yet. No one with IP alert has had any issues with Old Spice. There's no guarantees or anything like that. So as we're looking down here at the Keepa chart, we already talked about how there could potentially be some price spikes going on here, right? Right now it's spiked up to $33. Usually it's kind of hanging out close to 28 bucks. Looks like it really went pretty low for a couple days there in August. Didn't stay there consistently, so I'm not too worried about that. We're going to go ahead and check out the data. We're going to go over to the buy box statistics. Once again, make sure no one's hogging a bunch of the sales. In this case, 33%. We can go ahead and zoom out a whole bunch. And yeah, this guy's got 29%, but no one's really artificially hogging a ton of these sales, right? So we're going to be able to make sales on this listing. But from here, it's really a question of, am I interested in selling this item? Is it good enough for me to worry about carrying, right? If a whole bunch of new sellers come back on, is the price going to tank super low? And if that price does tank, are we still interested in selling this item? So once again, I'll leave this up to you guys. Would you be interested in selling this item based on the decisions we made with that last item? Let me know down in the comments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it, just kind of breaking down some of these leads, seeing exactly what we need to look for on these products. And so now you should hopefully be a lot more confident in knowing what to look for on those items to sell on Amazon. So go ahead and go out and start sourcing products right now. If you've been on a YouTube binge, stop your YouTube binge and just go try to practice your skills, right? But if you guys do have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to drop those down below. I'm always happy to answer those. If you guys hit the subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff, helps me out with the YouTube algorithm for sharing some value with you guys. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.